Sometime later, Danora and Yogiri arrived in a modern city named Hanabusa. Yogiri appeared tired from navigating the forest while protecting Danora from monster and bandit attacks. Of course, Danora was upset that Yogiri hadn't mentioned this from the beginning, but Yogiri didn't mind as long as he could protect her. Besides, Yogiri's power could be used limitlessly as he pleased. They then booked a room at a hotel there and encountered Tachibana Yuuki. Yuuki was one of the students who agreed to leave Danora, Yogiri, and 2 other students on the bus during a previous incident. Yuuki was grateful that Danora had arrived at the city safely. Danora asked, "Why are you here? Weren't you with your friends?" Yuuki explained that he intentionally didn't follow the group of students. According to Yuuki, the methods of leveling up other students were ineffective and inefficient. That night, the students were celebrating their success in completing the first mission, but Yuuki couldn't join them because of his Dominator class. Other students had their own classes, each with unique problems. One student named Utori, with a consultant class, could analyze other classes. Utori advised Yuuki to make contracts with slaves to level up faster. The more slaves Yuuki obtained, the more benefits he would gain. His slaves would work against monsters, allowing Yuuki to relax without working hard. Due to this, Yuuki could enjoy the city and had acquired many sexy slave girls. Yuuki also wanted to recruit Danora as his slave. Of course, Danora felt disgusted and rejected Yuuki's invitation. Yuuki chatted and tried to persuade Danora in front of his slaves. He even offered himself to be Danora's lover. The slaves got angry as Danora seemed close to Yuuki.
僕の愛人にならない？今すぐでなくてもいいからゆっくり考えて。
On the other hand, Lane was fighting another aggressor named Kurayami. Lane struggled against Kurayami, a monster formed from many black particles. A few days later, Danora was truly bored staying continuously in the hotel room, while Yogiri had been sleeping in his room for 3 days. Danora planned to take a walk in the city, but she suddenly saw chaos outside. It turned out that the chaos was caused by the zombie subordinate of the Great Sage. Because of this, Danora abandoned her intention to leave the hotel. Danora was confused about the situation. Why were there zombies ruling in another world? Shortly after, someone was waiting for Danora to come out of her room. Makamoko sensed the evil aura of that person but couldn't see the figure. Danora immediately called Yogiri because she couldn't fight an invisible enemy. Yogiri, dreaming peacefully with his sister Asaka, woke up when Danora called him. After Danora informed him of the situation, Yogiri slowly approached Danora's room, checked the situation with his powers, and killed the person. Yogiri entered Danora's room and informed her that the person was targeting her. Then Danora was confused about the person's intentions. When Danora saw the corpse in front of her room, Danora realized she was Erika, Yuuki's slave girl. Because of this, Danora hurriedly packed her belongings to prevent Yuuki from going berserk. Yogiri was curious why Danora seemed so calm in this situation. Danora was different from her usual self. Danora explained that she had almost become accustomed to seeing such things since being with Yogiri. On the other hand, Yuuki was leveling up with his sexy slaves in a dungeon pyramid near the forest. However, Yuuki couldn't detect Erika's presence because the contract was broken. When he checked Erika's last memory recording, Yuuki couldn't understand what was happening to her and why she was in front of the hotel room. Yuuki suspected that Erika was secretly attacked by someone else, but a sexy slave named Euphemia said that Erika couldn't have died so easily because she was an assassin. Euphemia also guessed that Erika might have wanted to bring Danora to become Yuuki's slave. The worst case scenario was that Danora might be killed because she wasn't deemed worthy by Yuuki. Even though the slaves had contracts with their master, they could still act according to their own desires. Then, Yuuki decided to send 2 of his slaves, Riza and Chelsea, to capture Danora. Yuuki was sure that Danora would run away soon because she felt the threat from Erika. In the hotel, Riza immediately used ice magic on Danora and Yogiri to prevent them from escaping. However, Yogiri could still use his powers against the ice. He also broke Riza's magic staff with his powers. Riza then pulled out a small-sized magic staff from her chest, and Yogiri was fascinated after seeing it.
いや、入るものなんだなと思ってさ。
で、高藤君もまじまじと見ない？
Chelsea began to surround them with her puppets, and Danora successfully defended against one of the puppet attacks. Of course, Yogiri was impressed because Danora could do that. Yogiri then killed Riza and stopped Chelsea's puppet attacks. As they headed to where Chelsea was, she cried, apologized, and begged for mercy. Chelsea didn't want to die. Well, this made them feel strange because they seemed to be the villains there.
私たち なんかすごい悪者みたいになってるんだけど。
Yuuki was a little annoyed because he still wanted to get Danora as his slave. Therefore, Yuuki controlled many flying cockroaches to guide them to a suitable place for an attack. Then, Danora felt disgusted and scared because she was facing flying cockroaches. Well, even though the flying cockroaches were cute and adorable in appearance, Danora then told Yogiri to kill the flying cockroaches. But Yogiri said that if he killed them, the cockroaches would fall on Danora's body. Well, Danora retracted her statement after hearing that. Danora was very angry at Yuuki because he had threatened her with flying cockroaches. On the other hand, Yuuki immediately used his skill to kill Yogiri with the flying cockroaches there. Yogiri sensed a very strong killing intent around him and quickly used his powers to kill Yuuki.
てかこいつら急にアクティブになってるんですが、何ってまさかの不発。上司たちは元気いっぱいですけど。
橘が死んで支配から解き放たれたってことかな。
Although Yuuki had been killed by Yogiri, the flying cockroaches were still there. Yogiri explained to Danora that the flying cockroaches might have become their own entities. Then, Yogiri held Danora's hand so they could quickly run away. On the other hand, Yuuki's slaves no longer had contracts with Yuuki and left him in the dungeon. But when Euphemia exited the dungeon, she found herself in a desert and met Lane there. It turned out that Kureyami was approaching a city soon, and Lane immediately sucked Euphemia's blood to find out something. On the other hand, Danora and Yogiri successfully left the hotel, and then saw zombies attacking the city.